El Turcaso here again. Look, I can't tell you this is going to be a 2-minute video. Can't tell you it's going to be a 20-minute. What I can tell you is it's going to be the video or a video in this series that could change your life. I'm going to be very blunt with you. Some of the things I'm about to tell you may emotionally tear at your heartstrings. So why am I going to do that? Because you don't know why I'm asking you to really join me. But you will know exactly why. I'm going to be extremely candid. There's a possibility that without anybody joining, I could eventually get somewhere in one or more of these businesses. Or maybe I can get extremely successful with Overstock.com. I'm not Amway, but Amazon and eBay. Now that would be a sole proprietor, and eventually I could maybe hire employees. I could probably do that, and heck, I might even do some of that. So why am I involved with what they call multi-level marketing? Because here's the thing. I intend to become a wealthy person. But unlike a lot of people, I want to teach what I learned to you. And I want you to start to get there with me. Now I know that you think a lot of this is BS. I'm sure you've heard these stories from gurus and maybe millions of them. But what you didn't hear is the Albert Turcaso story. So who am I? I'm a guy who some people think looks like he's mildly retarded or he has Down syndrome. No offense to the retarded people. I like everybody and I like people with Down syndrome. But I want you to know the things that I've dealt with in my life. Some people think I don't have much intelligence. Some people think, well, let's just say derogatory stuff. But let me tell you who I really am. I'm a guy who believes in a higher power, who believes in hope, who cares about gang members. Yeah, gang members. The ones that are doing all the evil stuff. I care about them. If you know any, let them know. They are important because most of the reasons why they are the way they are is because lack of caring, lack of hope, and lack of family. I welcome all. I really mean it when I say all humanity matters. I don't throw people away. That having been said, let me tell you something else. You may be wondering, why go with this guy as an upline or downline or at all? He's not a guru. He hasn't really made any money yet. Why him? It would be the stupidest choice. And you might think that. But I am a self-made success story. Now, I haven't made money yet. But here's what I will tell you. 10 years ago, 2004, I randomly decided to start a TV show on public access. It's Humanity Matters. When I went there, I did not have any formal training, and yet I basically sat down, came up with an idea, would book guests when I could, and did everything, quote unquote, ad-libbed. I became very popular, and still am, on public access and some places online. Self-made talk show host. Then, a few years later, about 2007, I decided to go live. Once again, I didn't have any pre-screening for my guests. It was all ad-libbed off the top of my head. In addition, the studio does not have any monitors that you can read on. So I did it the hard way, and I built up a really good show. And I've had people who've been interviewed by every news media around the globe. And they told me I have asked them some of the most intriguing, probing, intelligent questions they've ever had. And sometimes I've even stumped them. And these are people who've been on CNN, who've been on MSNBC, who've been on Fox, who've been on CBS, you name it. These are people who even testified in different courts of law around the planet. These are considered, some of these people are considered the best in the profession, and some the best ever. And I did all that without any training, without any help, and just my own desire and intelligence. That is who will be your monitor. Okay, I screwed up, but your mentor. Now you might not think that's impressive, but you tried doing a live show for more than 7 years and then tried doing it opposite 3 different stations, live at 6 p.m., the local news of 3 different stations, and being able to still get people to call your show. That's right. I took viewers away from the local news, and still do at times. I'm not currently live right now, but I will be again. But I'm also a guy who has experienced real tragedy. And because of that, it's made me more determined to have success. That's the kind of person you want as your mentor. I literally witnessed my father be killed by a drunk driver at the age of 12 years old. That's right, I witnessed it. As a matter of fact, I was almost killed myself because I was going to walk across the street with my father. Had I done that, guess what? You would have never known who I was. So I've experienced real tragedy. At the age of 12 years old, I watched my father get killed, and then 2 of my aunts died literally a few weeks later. And I've been through some serious hardships. It made me more determined than ever. And yes, for the first 50 years of my life, I lived in poverty. And as I speak, I am in that current state. But I will not be in a few short months to a few short years. I can't tell you what is going to be the great change. And a lot of people will say, well, if you haven't been able to break through all these years, what makes you think you can now? You know, it's hard to answer that, friends. It really is. But I feel it. I know it. As much as I know that I am sitting here out in the daylight in a park called South Park in the suburbs of the United States city. It's in the United States, and it's called the city of Pittsburgh. As much as I know, as I'm really sitting here, I know I'm going to get there. Now, I've experienced so much death and sorrow in my life over the last 8 years that I have become 100 times more determined. That's who is going to be your mentor. Now, my specialties are being a talk show host or a podcaster. That's what I'm an expert at. I can interview you on a pair of shoes and people will watch. If you don't believe me, just email me at actoraj2@gmail.com, actoraj2@gmail.com. You have a pair of shoes, you want to see if I can really interview you? We'll do a podcast. Or we'll do a live TV show. Trust me, I can do it. But here's the thing. We can get in this adventure and we can succeed. Now, forget about all the hype, because if you get into any of these opportunities, there are going to be millionaires that are going to tell you how they got there, or some of what they did. But the problem is, And even in things that I'm in, one of the things I don't like is they tell you they got there. They may even tell you they were homeless, but they got there. But they don't give you enough pieces of the puzzle right away. That's fine. Because here's the thing. If I get from point A to point B to point C to point W, I'm going to teach you. Now, yeah, there may be some investment. I may need to charge you something. May. I didn't say would. May. But I promise you, I'm not going to take your money or allow anybody to take your money for nothing in return. I simply won't do that. Your money is not what I seek. Your success is. Now I want you to let that digest for a minute. Name one company, or for that matter, anything, a school, a company, a college, a charity, anything almost that says to you, I care about you more than the money. And I don't want to get anti-religious. I love the Lord God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I love atheists. I love everybody. But I personally believe in Jesus Christ. But you cannot even go to most churches without them coming to you, or at least having the offer plate, meaning money. No matter where you go, money is involved. Well, I'm here telling you, sure, it's going to cost some money. Very nominal, I might add. But I'm not interested in your money. And in some ways, I wish I could be that guy. I wish I could be like the Walmarts and the other corporations of the globe. In some ways, I wish I could be that callous and only give a damn about the money. In some ways, I do. Life would be a lot easier if I was a multimillionaire or a billionaire. But when I get to that mountain, climb that mountain, and become the millionaire, which I will, I don't want to do it by scamming, taking advantage, or doing any harm to anybody. And I want to do something crazy. Yeah, like Volcker's crazy. I want to legally, peacefully start a financial revolution. Whereas where I am getting wealthy, those on my team get wealthy. Now, can we do this? I don't know. But then again, everything that ever existed was once impossible. People will say what I'm trying to do is impossible. But they said that to the Wright brothers. They said the earth wasn't round. We found out it was. They said you will never have an airplane. We do. So yeah, I'm asking you to take a leap of faith to trust me, to trust yourself. If you're a religious person, trust God, no matter which name you call God, or the goddesses, or gods. Look, I can't be more sincere about this if I try. I've been through hell in my life. Watched death so many times. I've been to